anything having to do with aliens. Kind of gives us a better feel of like the direction that we're going to go in, whether these masks can be turned into makeups or not. But that's always the best way to start something like this. It's fun, it's exciting. We can bounce ideas off of each other, and then we just go into the makeups, you know, and then figure them out from the designs, figure out the best way to break them down, you know, and what's going to work, whether it's going to be foam rubber or silicone or whatever.
And that's it too, like we would pull in everybody, like I'd pull Mike into the room, like when we were designing Bortus, we knew we were going to do foam because it's such a big makeup, but what's funny is Jon Favreau, who's the director of the pilot, who's very, well, you know, he knows the process, he's like, Bortus is going to be silicone, right? And I'm like, oh no, Peter won't survive that. You know, imagine that headpiece on silicone, it'd be crazy, right? So you know, we all figure out, and then you know, Mike's going to make these molds, and Mike, what do you think you need for this? And then Andy, I would turn to Andy when I was on set in terms of making sure things got done in the shop the way we needed it, and then of course get to Derek and make sure it's all fine and dandy, and, you know.
Am I right I heard a story where when it came to designing Bortus, you actually had to do a sculpture with Seth there until you found it, because he was described as like a volcanic rock.
Yeah, the description was weird. I remember when we first were talking about, Norman did like 37 sculptures on Bortus, and every time it's like Favreau and Seth would be like, no, it's not there, it's not there. I'm like, I'm just going to go down there and take this head and some clay and just knock it out. And Norman had already blocked out a good portion of it, and I just kind of cut off one side and sat there for 4 hours and worked on it and finally did it. And he said, yeah, that's it. Seth's like, it doesn't look like a dude in makeup. That's what he kept saying, a dude in makeup. And I brought it back and I handed it to Garrett, and then I'll let Garrett describe what he did. And then Peter can talk about how much fun it was. Cried and wet yourself, okay then.
I cried and peed. No, but the first time we put it on, it took, what, 2.5 hours to figure out, because it's 3 different pieces. There's a cowl, there's a forehead, there's a chin, and just working with the same makeup artist every day is pretty phenomenal, because you know, like one instance of just like, I think 3 months in, we figured out if I flare my nostrils while he puts the application on the side of my nostrils, it'll stick better, and then I can breathe. But you know, you figure it out as you go along. But the great thing, so as much attention as I need to pay to detail, Garrett, our team, you know, like for instance, like I lose about 30% of my hearing because my ears are here and Bortus's ears are, you know, slightly forward. So, you know, we do what we can do to, you know, troubleshoot as we go along. And I like the shit. So I mean, I like putting on. I'm a weird person like that. I like to transform myself, and then I would look at myself in the mirror, and I would not see myself at all. And so people would walk up, and they couldn't tell where the makeup ended and I began. And so it was really great to have my whole mouth. I'm trying to talk with this microphone, but have just my whole mouth and just my whole eyes to use, but everything else is prosthetic. So, you know, and over the course of time, we got it down to like 90 minutes. And so it's, you get in the chair, you know, and once the airbrush portion starts and I'm told to close my eyes, I fall asleep and I wake up and I'm Bortus. You know, so it's pretty great. Yeah, it took some getting used to.
You're a painter too, so
yeah, I dig it.
You have an affinity for the art aspect.
Yeah,
that's pretty
absolutely,
great.
absolutely. And it grew and it grew, and I feel like we just got into such a zen groove. And then, you know, after 15, 16 hours of wearing it, go and sit in Uncle Howie's chair, and we get a coconut rub down, and like those wonderful sausage fingers just make it all go away. You know, so.
Howard gives great massages, neck massages.
I concur.
Cool. Yeah, so I mean, you know, there's an example. It's like Garrett and Peter working together to try to figure out how best, you know, and it changed the course. You know, Garrett sculpted the face. After we did the first test, remember, we had kind of a piggy nose and we re-sculpted it. And, you know, every day on set, though, Garrett was ready to re-sculpt. I think I'm going to re-sculpt that chin. I'm going to re-sculpt that. So, you know, for season 2, we might revisit a couple new things. So,
But also in that